We are live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Coming at you on a Saturday evening. Oh, goodness. Blood Rain's already in the chat. What is up? Twitch's special is about to start, so just popping in. Yeah, it is, isn't it? We're going to get to that a little later. So I'm multitasking tonight. We're going to touch some women of wrestling, WoW, and also an AEW roster update. Got some hot news on that. Something that didn't see in a lot of places. I actually caught up by that, but we're going to save that for last. So let's talk about the WoW Women of Wrestling. We're going to talk about the episode number 2. Right before Impact Wrestling. So, like I said, Friday nights are loaded. And if you don't catch all of this live tonight, it's not a big deal. It's the replay over on WrestlingWithWrestling.com, which is where I decided to throw my WoW Women of Wrestling, because I used to put a lot more other stuff, a few different brands on, and because there hasn't been any House of Hardcore new stuff and Lucha Underground, I feel bad for not putting as much content on there. So to make up for it, I'm putting this on there, hoping it makes up for it, because I was two or three different companies worth of stuff over there, along with MLW, and yeah. So, but hey, it's a new year. We're watching different things. It's not a big deal, and so yeah, let's get into this. WoW Women of Wrestling episode 2 from Friday night, the 25th of January. Starts out with a Tessa Blanchard promo. History, and very cinematic, showing her working out, showing her like outside the the building, outside the ring area, and then arriving. I'm really enjoying these cinematic pieces, like I've said before, and I'll probably repeat this throughout episodes as I'm talking about Women of Wrestling. I miss Lucha Underground. So the fact that we're getting something very similar to Lucha Underground in wrestling, as the other side of it, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all, in my opinion. I know not everybody likes that aspect of it, but I do appreciate the different, So, and the best part about it, it's only an hour, so they an absolute crap ton of product in 1 hour. It's just loaded. Thing that they're talking about between these matches is a little bit of history on some of these girls, because like I said, some of these I'm very familiar with, some of the newer girls to the WoW, so we say WoW universe of WoW superheroes. I'd probably save that universe term for somewhere else. But yeah, some of these girls have been with the company for a long time, and those who are watching it for the first time, they're given a little history. For example, one of the big things that they were talking about was the history of Beverly Habe. And that she used to be in a tag team formerly with Spirit. And then things happened between them, and then she went Lana Star lured her to the dark side. with you know, money and what they say, money and Botox or something. So it's nice that they're doing that for the girls on the show that maybe aren't known quite as much on the independent scene. Some of these have been around for a good long time, like Amber O'Neil, the Beverly Hills Babe. I actually got to meet her a handful of years ago with the Bullet Club in Milwaukee here at a Bruce City wrestling show. Sweetheart, it really is. And so to see her on a different stage is pretty cool too. And she really plays it up star as being, you know, Miss Beverly Hills and, you know, fancy cars and, you know, streets, well, you know, they got that attitude. So it's really interesting to see that change in her from being Bullet Babe, you know, quite the different role. So it's cool. Who else? Oh, the vignette on oh, there's so many women on the show. Who is it? Oh, Princess Aussie, right before her match with Siren, showed her as a little girl growing up and being raised because her mom was away, so she was raised by, you know, almost the expression of being raised by wolves. She was raised by you know, different tribes, Aborigines down in Australia and stuff like that. So interesting to see. You know, that's something really different. You know, like I said, when they take the time, not just saying, "Oh, this character's from this place," and it's like, "Oh no," they're taking the time to take 2 to 3 minutes, make a whole segment and building these characters was tremendous. Ronnie's in the chat. Impact is live from Brooklyn on Twitch. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I know. Blood Rain told me that too. I don't know how many more people are going to pop in. Hey, Jason. Hey, J-Bone. Go check out Twitch. Yes, I did I did see that on social media. It's like the show was last night, but they're not going to air it last night on Twitch to counter the Pursuit show. They're going to air it tonight. So yeah, that's what that is. So it's live, but it's not live. I'll watch it. There's some good ones on there. What else? Oh, also got a vignette between the matches, and then we'll get into the matches a little bit. We got a quick vignette saying that is coming, and that's AKA Jessica Havoc from the Ohio family. Say the better OVE's leader, Sami Callihan. And we've seen her different places too, like Impact Wrestling and such. Hoping, you know, that this series does her well too, because she deserves it. She's talented. Quite the presence in the ring. So was I think she's nice, because there's, like I said, there's women on this show that have been with Women of Wrestling for several. Amber O'Neil joined. Oh, geez. What did I was reading up on her right before I went live. I think this is the early 20. It was like 2012 or something like that. So she's been with them for quite a while. I don't know how long. I'm still learning. But there's been different inceptions of it over the years. Oh, and I also saw the show I was thinking of wasn't WoW from, like, it was like 10 years ago. another show that was supposed to be on TV. It's called WrestleLicious or something, and I think it was Jimmy Hart or something like that. Amber O'Neil was also a part of that too. Ronnie asks, where do you watch WoW? On AxsTV, on right after the airing of New Japan on Friday nights. So, and I don't watch a lot of the New Japan stuff. I watch it here and there, but I still record it. But yeah, WoW Women of Wrestling is on right after New Japan. So it goes New Japan, like for here, it's on 7 o'clock p.m. New Japan at 7, WoW at 8, and then at 9. So that's a very loaded evening right there. So, but I watched 2 out of the 3. So, but yeah, I'm telling you guys, if you miss Lucha Underground and you love women's wrestling and you like character build and different things, please go watch this show. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it so far. And then it helps to have familiar faces too from the independent scene that I'm a big fan of, like Tessa Blanchard and Santana Garrett and stuff like that. So that certainly helps as well. It's, star power. Just, it's a drawing factor, big time. Let's get into these matches. Right at the beginning of the show, like I said, there's that Tessa promo, and then we see Tessa running to the ring, attacking Santana Garrett, and that led into the announcing of the Beverly Hills Babe versus Tessa Blanchard, because Tessa wants a match, wants a championship match, but David McLean is not going to give it to her. He's not budging. He's like, you got to earn it. He's on that. And I respect that. That should be for any company anywhere. You don't just walk in and take a championship or take a champ shot. It's good business. Make him earn it. So it leads into the first match here. Siren. We saw a promo from her last week. The Voodoo Doll versus Princess Aussie, also sing a prayer right before this match. Princess Aussie coming out with her tribe and stuff. Short match, but I think we got more of a look at the character build than was more at play here than the in-ring work. The match was short but sweet. I'll say that. And Garrett in the chat. Yeah, she used to be with that's her. So yeah, Santana Garrett's been around for a while. Yep. So yeah, this match was only long. It was short but sweet, and but it was good. It was good to see what they could a little bit of something what they could do in the ring. Aussie wins with a splash to Siren off the top rope, and they love Yesic references in this show. Dave McLean says a la Eddie Guerrero, and then references Shaul Guerrero at ring side, Hoodie's daughter. So that's kind of a nice little tie-in there, But yeah, short but sweet match from Princess Aussie and Siren. The show here in the first match of this episode. Next, we've got Jessie Jones. Had a fun little interaction on social media with her while we were live tweeting from the Smash This podcast Twitter, and they had a handful of the girls leading, answering questions live, which is great to see that they've got the women of wrestling with the fans during the show. And you don't see that a lot from all different brands. A few of, I don't remember who, I think it was Tessa and the Rascals. I believe they were in the Twitch chat during the Twitch showing of Impact Wrestling. Too, I think that's another big draw because like I said, not all companies. You see some kind of interaction like that. Like I said, that's another drawing point. So props to Women of Wrestling for setting that up, having their and interact with the fans. And that was kind of nice. Jesse Jones coming out right before this match starts out with, and we'll get to a little side note on her in a bit, which is actually really nice to see. Jesse Jones comes out a reference to The Wall, which is actually really, I mean, the timing of this been better as far as a heel move, because we look at where our, I hate talking politics, but what was brought up on the show, and I think we can all have a little chuckle with it. We're over a month into this whole government shutdown thing, and it's because The Wall. And here we have Jesse Jones making a reference to it on the show last night, and it's like, oh. So tweeted out, I was like, yeah, you're not going to win any fans talking about The Wall, and a little Trump reference there. Big props to her because she ended up winning this match against Ms. Azteca. And Ms. Azteca is AKA Giselle Shaw. And we've talked about her before on Smash This Podcast. She's been on a few, I'd say a handful of Impact Wrestling, either Twitch shows or on Impact Wrestling itself. I think more Twitch shows, and she made an appearance on Impact Wrestling. So that was great to see. I thought I recognized her, but she's under a mask. But just watching how she moved in the ring and how she presented herself, I was like, oh, that looks familiar. Sure enough, it's Giselle Shaw. And I said when I saw her in those matches before, and I apologize, I can't remember who she was with in the ring, but she really stood out as someone who deserved to be on her stage. As in, hey, Impact Wrestling, you should definitely sign her. Well, here we go. We got a show like Wow, Women of Wrestling, and they put her on this show, and they made her a character, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, Robert Does Wrestling is in the chat. What is up? Good evening to you. Happy Saturday night. Hope all is well. I'm glad I can get a few. I get it. This is a big weekend for wrestling. I get it that, and Takeover's on tonight. Tomorrow night, Royal Rumble's on. The world is watching, wondering, what big surprises are coming in. But you know what? Am I curious? Yeah. But you know what? It ain't my cup of tea. I'm going to be watching AAW tomorrow, and I'm going to be reviewing it tomorrow night. Who tunes in, Smash This Podcast is going to get me in WWE. No, I'm just kidding. I kid. Robert says I'm so behind when it comes down to the wrestling. We gotta catch up, man. So, all right. But yeah, back to this Jesse Jones. This has Tekka, Jesse Jones getting plenty of heat from this little political shtickling in the beginning of the match, talking about people not wanting a wall, and yet everybody lives in their gated communities in, like, because the surrounding is LA and such. So little interesting reference there. Yeah, it's I was shocked because, well, you got to think this was several months ago, but now we're in such a heated thing in our own country, and this airs. So yeah, Jessie definitely going to get some attention from that, and she did last night on social media. So, but I got to give her, she's a veteran with WoW, and the newcomer as Tekka was not ready for me. And Jesse Jones wins with a submission, her own version, of an armbar, and was a little shocking because you look at Jesse Jones and you're like, oh, she's kind of a country hick. She's from, I believe they said, Kentucky. You're thinking, okay, she's gonna be more of a brawler, but no, she wins with a submission hold. It was really kind of shocking. So yeah, I was Jesse Jones, and but it's not to knock Giselle Shaw, aka as Tekka here, because I know she's a good wrestler. Just wasn't her night. But yeah, and I gotta say, I'm really liking Jesse Jones as a character. Michael factor, but as a character, I'm really digging Jesse Jones. So cool to see. Then we mentioned the promo on Havoc. That's Jessica Havoc. It's very exciting to see that she's going to be a part of WoW Women Wrestling. So probably debut somewhere in the next couple weeks, I'm guessing. And then we get like I said, we got the history of the Beverly Hills Amber O'Neil, formerly Amber O'Neil, and she got with Lana Starr and kind of drew her into the bright lights, the life of the Botox, and leading into her match with Tessa Blanchard. And so we get a little background on both, which is nice. Lana Starr sits down at ringside, and she's like, yeah, who is this Tessa? And it's who's Tessa Blanchard, really? So that was comical. But I gotta say, Amber O'Neil and Tessa really shined in this episode. Really showed why they're two of the best women wrestlers around right now. Tessa coming out on top with her own version of her own, DDT that she uses so much. And I believe the Buzzsaw DDT. I'm not sure if that's what they called it. And then at the end of the match, she calls out Santana Garrett, and Santana Garrett obliges her, and they're fighting, and then they go off the air in the midst of the brawl. So yeah, it's another good episode of WoW Women of Wrestling. I'm digging the character build up. I'm digging the cinematic of all this, and yeah, I gotta say, after 2 episodes, if after watching a couple, is either you're gonna keep them, or fans are gonna go, maybe not my cup of tea. I'm digging it. Like I said, I miss Luke Brown, and I like all the other different factors that they're throwing into this show to make it special. So still learning a lot as far as backgrounds, but they're also showing older footage of some of the rivalries. So it's nice to see that as far as character build up. It's great to see, because a lot of fans of this, like, what is all this? Who are these women and why should we care? Well, they certainly show you.
It's okay.
So you got, okay. So, yeah, great episode of Women of Wrestling. Episode number 2. Now we're going to quick talk about AEW news that I found. When did I find this? This morning? Last night? Something like that. I think it was this morning. I found it by accident because I realized I hadn't watched or looked for any like recent news, and I usually go to like a couple of sites and just anything good. I usually check out PW Insider as much as, sometimes I don't like that site, or I'll check out Ringside or WrestleZone and see if there's any, I try to, sift out the real news as to the, the speculation stuff that gets thrown around so much, like I've talked about before. But this is legit. Or at least this seems legit. The only place I've seen this. So I'm going with this. So I'm going to talk about it. I'm hoping that this comes to fruition and I don't have to blend this. So but I'm pretty confident in this little piece of news here. This comes from Ringside News, and they're getting this from radio, talking about this rally coming up on February 7th in Vegas, and they're going to be bringing in more faces that were not around at the first rally, which is good to see because they're building up this first big AEW event. And, so they need a little, I think they need a little more. They're trying to build a roster. And one of the big names, obviously, besides the women, that is going to be a big question after this weekend, of course, Kenny Omega. Everyone, including myself, is keeping a very close eye on that. And that's still up in the air. But it says here, but it looks like Bea Priestley could also be around at the February 7th Las Vegas rally because she has decided to go with AEW over WWE. The quoted section is here. The only name that I heard is that I heard that Bea Priestley, who we saw at Stardom when I was there a couple weeks ago, that's Dave Meltzer. Okay. At the time, WWE was pushing really hard for her, but she chose All Elite over WWE. Bea Priestley is also dating Will Ospreay, who is under contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling. The two talked about moving to Japan so they could work together there full time. And because Stardom's in Japan too. That's their big women's wrestling company over there, I guess. I've watched some of it. It's very good. I've seen. We will have to wait and see how signing with AEW could change things for Bea. But it would still be a wonderful addition to their roster. And I have to agree with that. And the article on ringsidenews.com is a last women's standing match between, and this is kind of interesting, and this is from a few years. It's Bea Priestley versus Nixon Newell. Nixon Newell is one of the newer girls who signed within the last couple of years to NXT. Unfortunately, she's gone through some injuries and has not been able to be featured much, but she is very talented. I'm hoping she can get healthy and actually have a prosperous career with the WWE, but so far it's not looking too hot for her, unfortunately. So yeah, Blood Rain kind of watching Twitch right now. Hey, that's okay. I get it. They're going on tonight. And I'm going to tune in over there soon as well, as soon as I get off of here. So yeah, great episode of wrestling, episode number 2, and the hot news of Bea Priestley signing with AEW. As lately we've been getting the news just trickling in, but that rally a week from now on the 7th is going to be big news. We'll get some definite face, some new with this roster for that event. And so yeah, we'll be doing an update probably after the weekend with some more CW coming real soon. So so thanks for everyone that tuned in tonight. Like I said, I realize I'm up against a lot of stuff going on, but hey, that's all right. For anyone who is not watching everything else out there, it's most appreciated if you take a few minutes of your time to smash this podcast. If you're new to the product and you're digging it, please giving the video a like and smash that sub button. We lost a few today for some reason, but it's probably just the odd ones going by the wayside. Some people get rid of their accounts because they're just not watching YouTube no more, and that's understandable, or whatever. Or people just be talking about the stuff that I'm talking about. Whatever, I get it. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. We're just trying to build a brand over here on Smackcast. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night for the first review of PowerSlam.tv. We'll be talking about AAW's the classic from last month. And until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a tremendous rest of your weekend. Much love.